want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Hey, it's Jimmy O here, taking a look at F9. Yep, it's time, guys. Rev up the engines, ramp up the music, get ready to rumble, because Dom Toretto and crew are back for yet another adventure. Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, Tyrese Gibson, Ludacris, Bridges, they're all ready to roll, and even Jordana Brewster, along with a few other notable fan treats, are returning. And don't forget the cars and explosions that keep getting bigger. The 9th film in the series goes to places you'd never imagine, for better or worse. And yes, we have villains galore, old and new, trying to destroy the world or whatever. More importantly, they come between family, and you know what they say about family in these flicks. Either way, the gang is back, so fasten your seatbelts, strap in. Let's see if F9 is a ride worth taking. Dom and Letty have finally settled into family life. Of course, since this is a Fast and the Furious movie, something is bound to pull them back in, and that someone is Jacob, played by John Cena, the long-lost younger brother of Dom and Mia. Things get far more complicated for the crew when they realize that their sibling is working with the dangerously wicked Cypher, played by Charlize Theron. Now, we aren't talking about a simple family squabble here. We're talking power beyond the likes anybody has ever seen before. Well, at least since the last Fast and Furious flick. This all leads to exactly what you'd expect, and perhaps a few things you won't. If you're looking for a more spoilerific plot description, I'm certain you can find that, and more if you do a simple Google search, but I'll keep this spoiler-free. Now, F9 is Justin Lin's return to the franchise after James Wan gave us Furious 7, and F. Gary Gray carried on with the fate of the Furious. And there are moments here that harken back to Lin's earlier work in Fast 5 and Fast and the Furious 6. However, as insane as it was to see a massive safe drag down a busy street, the new film takes you to some truly outlandish heights. Now get ready for Gibson and Bridges to take you on one of the silliest escapades ever belonging to an already silly franchise. That's saying something. Even with that, there are certainly a handful of impressive sequences that attempt to raise the already high bar of wild car imagery that is, beyond impossible. In the latest, aside from the cast, the cars are really the highlight, especially when they're a bit more grounded than they have been as of late. Sometimes Lin's imaginative ideas worked, but oftentimes they didn't. If you've ever taken the Universal Studio tour, you might get the feeling you're seeing some of that popular attraction right here in Dom's world. Perhaps I'm wrong, but that plane crash set looked like War of the Worlds, as well as the location looked eerily like Isla Nublar. Even though there are a few thrilling moments spread throughout, one involving a much-needed bit of comic relief in London with one of my favorite characters in the series, a few of these Fast and Furious moments felt a bit been there, done that. Needless to say, this massive blockbuster occasionally looked as though less of the budget was actually put on screen. In addition to taking a stop on the studio tour, there are a few flashback sequences designed to give you an idea of what happened to Jacob's character. The look of it didn't quite work. It'd be a safe bet that they were trying to attempt to match the tone of the original film. Instead, these moments fell off and didn't quite look like they belonged in the same movie. In addition, the extended sequences only added a superficial character arc for Jacob. And remember all the cool locations in the previous installments? Well, here, they sometimes appear to be shot on the lot with a handful of impressive establishing shots for whatever part of the world we are about to see. I guess maybe with all the talent involved, they had to cut the travel expenses, especially because this was shot pre-pandemic, when they ideally could have gone anywhere. That's not to say this is all bad. It was terrific to see Jordana Brewster back, although I'm not quite sure about the direction they went with Paul Walker's character. As well, the many other returning actors were a treat, and it's always fun to see the regulars work together and tear up the asphalt in mayhem-fueled ways. And while this won't please everyone, it's likely that if you're already this far invested, you won't mind the ridiculously inane script by Daniel Casey and Justin Lin. Since this might be the first movie many of you see on a big screen, the loud booms, the nutso action, and a bag of popcorn may be all you desire. And frankly, there's not a damn thing wrong with that. F9 will please fans expecting vehicular lunacy, but may simply tire others hoping for something, well, a little less dopey. Throughout the film, I found moments that started to make the pulse pound, yet as a whole, it just gave out right before the finish line. Still, it's entertaining to see a few familiar faces return, John Cena broods a bunch, and perhaps a couple of surprises will put a smile on your face. Yet as a whole, this just feels like an in-between rehash saving the best for last. We can hope, right? Considering that the 10th and the 11th films appear to be a two-part final chapter, maybe that's all this needs to be. Well, until they reboot it with a brand new cast, of course. If you've already invested, you'll probably watch this and maybe even like it a little, maybe a lot. However, if you've already started looking for the exit, F9 will hardly get the wheels in motion. I'm giving F9, the latest Fast and the Furious, a 5 out of 10. That's it for F9. Thanks for listening, and of course, check out our other reviews, interviews, news stories, everything on JoBlo.com, the only website you need.
It's been a while. The roads were a little empty. Places where we used to gather went quiet. We've gone through a year that tested us, but we're starting to see the promise of a new day. For more than 100 years, there's one place where we all came together to be entertained, to escape, to go someplace new. The movies. There's nothing like that moment when the lights go down. The projector ignites. And we believe.
Tell me you're not thinking what I think you're thinking. There's no bridge!
Oh, hell no.
Well, that was new.
After staying apart for so long, we miss the old life.
Do you?
Every day. It's time to come back together.
I'm ready if you are.
To laugh.
My ass is in fuego!
To cheer.
Yes!
We're ready to make you believe again.
Whoa.
Because nobody does a comeback like the movies.
It's good to be back.
We'll see you soon. The world has a way of changing. And we change too.
I know some people, they would die for me.
There are moments that separate us,
They're my family.
but we always come back together.
We heard y'all needed a little love out here.
Y'all ever thought about the wild missions we've been on? We've taken out planes, trains, tanks. I'm not gonna even think about the submarine. And now we got cars flying in the air? Who is he?
Jacob is Dom's brother.
Been a long time, Dom. Little brother.
You always say never turn your back on family, but you turned your back on me. Now your little family is in my world.
Are you ready?
Whatever's on you,
Is you ready?
it's on us.
Are you ready?
He's got his own private army. We need help.
Bring what you got.
Bring what you got. Bring what you got.
No way.
Is you ready? Whole squad ready.
So how do y'all want to play this?
Fast.
We going. We going. Whole squad ready. Ready.
Okay, this is a bad time to mention this, but I don't drive.
Brother against brother. This should be interesting. But could you kill him?
Get the e-brake for me, would you, darling?
Crank it all the way up.
Get back! We the soldiers. Get back!
Man, we messing with magnets now?
If you woke, don't wake up. Whoa. Get back! Can't front. Yeah, everything we gave up. Even when we die, we raise up. Yeah!
It's good to be back.
We got no white flag and no treaty. We got the product, we got the tools.
We supposed to stop that?
Hold on! We going wild, we on the loose. People is blind, we are the truth. Yes!
I spent my entire life in your shadow. And now, you spend the rest of yours living in mine.
We going wild. We on the loose.
Not today.
We are the
Really? Duct tape? You acting like we on our way to Home Depot.
Hunter! No, Ted! I don't want to die!